Good morning. Thank you so much for tuning in to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my meal for Resurrection Day. Seeing that this is our first holiday in our new home, I decided to do some catching up with you guys and cook along with me as I make brunch for my family and prepare for Resurrection dinner. Let's go. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is make us some pancakes. We're going to make some Easter or Resurrection Day type pancakes, and then we have some sausage, some beef bacon, maybe some eggs, and probably some oatmeal. So let's go ahead and get started.
You say nothing's wrong at all, baby. I say that we're falling off, baby.
Alright, so I'm going to take this pan and we're going to have, since it's brunch, we're going to make some cinnamon rolls. So, come on behind the camera. So let's go ahead and start doing these. I'm going to take some butter and I'm going to butter this too. In my mind, I'm done fighting. In your heart, you keep trying. The truth is not hiding. I'm going to take one of the cinnamon rolls. Look at that. It's definitely not coming apart. Epic failure.
Yummy.
Try it again. So we're gonna unravel it.
That's just the way we are, but can't say you love me when it's like that. Can't say I love you when it's like that. If it was new, it won't be like that. To everybody else, it would just all be bad. But I love when we make up like that. And you love it when I make you mad. But maybe we just love like that. Yeah, maybe we just love like that. Times I don't want you around. You do something to make me smile, and it's hard for me to try to doubt this feeling. Yeah, we could just walk away. Yeah, we could just stay away. Things I love about you, I can't change. No, 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 no. In my mind, I'm done fighting.
So I have my pancake mix here. I'm going to mix it in a cup because we're not going to be washing a whole bunch of dishes.
Mom,
Yes, here's a hug, baby. But let's go ahead and mix these and try to make these Easter bunnies. Come on. So we're going to use some oil because we like crispy edges around here. So we're going to start off with the body. Step up.
Wait, you go. Your heart, you keep trying. And the truth, we done hiding. That's just the way we are. Can't say you love me when it's like that. Can't say I love you when it's like that. If it was new, it won't be like that. To everybody else, it would just all be bad. But I love when we make up like that. And you love it when I make you mad. But maybe we just love like that. Yeah, maybe we just love like that.
So Stinkerbud is going to go ahead and change the icing color for her and Markio to ice the bunny cinnamon rose. They did not turn out perfect, but I really like that one. And that one. It's really cute.
That one, that one, and that one. Chubby one.
cookie.
So she's going to add the food coloring and then we're going to finish breakfast.
But I love when we make up like that. Well, maybe we just love like that. Yeah, maybe we just love like that. Can't say you love me when it's like that. Can't say I love you when it's like that. If it was new, it won't be like that. To everybody else, it will just all be bad. But I love when we make up like that. And you love it when I make you mad. But maybe we just love like that. Yeah, maybe we just love like that.
Look at this strawberry, y'all. I don't think y'all understand how big this strawberry is.
All of them are big.
Okay. All right, now that we're done with brunch, let's go ahead and get this dinner started. Look at my beautiful roses. And yes, I always have me a glass of wine. So we're going to make some chicken, macaroni, cornbread, yams, greens, honey, shrimp, honey, buffalo shrimp, devil eggs, something I try new. This is the wine I'm drinking, just in case you guys was curious. And chicken is too expensive, y'all. I swear food is just outrageous. I'm about to grow my own farm. So I'm going to go ahead and preheat the oven to 375. Let that warm up. Clean your chicken. And I'm going to go ahead and set my chicken out. I don't know about y'all, but my mom used to bend the wing back. So that's me. That's what I'm doing right here. Just bending the leg back to make more room to make sure all these wings fit in this pan. I'm going to use some of the basic seasons I always use: onion powder, seasoned salt, garlic powder. I wanted to try this new Kinder's barbecue blend, and then I have some paprika back there. So you're just going to take all these seasons and season your chicken on both sides. I took some butter and sprinkled a little oil on there. Took my onion and my bell pepper and added. This is how it turned out. I almost forgot to add my liquid at the bottom. So since I was out of chicken broth or chicken stock, I just added some water to it. Nothing too much. And also, you guys, measure when you season your chicken. Season to your taste and your liking. So I went on and wrapped it up with some aluminum foil and stuck it in the oven for about an hour on 375. Let's prepare our other parts of our dinner. So here's me setting the eggs in there so they can boil while I prep the yams or sweet potatoes. I love this little cutter that I got from the Goodwill, and it was brand new, so I was like, what a steal. So I'm going to use this to cut my sweet potatoes. I don't like the chunky block like sweet potatoes, and then I don't know, it just was more convenient and made the process faster, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and slice them, and I'm going to show you how thin the slicer cuts them. And I use this for a lot of stuff, and it has a different appliance that also attached to it, so you can cut tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, all of that. I just still haven't fully unpacked, so I don't know where the other part of the appliances are. They're probably still boxed up, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this. And I cut my finger. That was really sharp. Be careful. Here's me prepping the syrup, I guess you want to call it, for the yams. My eggs begin to boil, and I poured that mixture all over my yams. So I poured half of them in my dish, and the mixture was just vanilla extract, lemon extract, white sugar, brown sugar, and butter. And I let that heat up, and then I poured it over my yams. And then I took the rest of them, put them on top, and then poured the rest of it on there. Again, I did not do any measurements. I kind of just was going with the flow, had my music going, trying to get dinner done. And this is how it looks after it has simmered down. I poured it over my yams and covered them and put them in the oven as well on the 375. Here I am. I removed my eggs to give them a cold bath. Here's my macaroni water. I added some oil, some chicken, bouillon seasoning. I didn't have no cubes, so just pour that in there to give the flavor a little water, because we are using boxed macaroni. I still have not mastered how to make homemade macaroni. I've tried. I keep failing. Anyways, here's the eggs. I added some mustard, mayo, relish, sugar, salt, and pepper. Basic ingredients for deviled eggs. And then this is where the little twist comes in. So I didn't have no Old Bay seasoning, so this is the season I decided to use. Use what your heart desires. I used mustard to bind it. After I got through mixing, I realized that I didn't feel like I had enough seasoning on my shrimp, so I added a little bit more. And this is how it turned out once I added a little more seasoning. I don't know, maybe I feel like I put too much mustard on it. I'm not sure. But this is how it turned out. Make sure you clean the front and the back of the shrimp to get the quote-unquote dookie out, is what people say. But just make sure you clean your shrimp really good. Add them to some flour. I used the same seasoning in the flour with a little cornstarch. Shook it up in the bag. Yes, I shook it up in the bag. Mind your own self business. Let my grease get hot, and then I dropped them in there for about 3 to 5 minutes. I can't remember. Here's my macaroni. It was good. Yes, it was good. But after 3 to 5 minutes, I went on and removed my shrimp from the grease, and this is how it turned out. They were so good. I just love fried shrimp. But I set them to the side and let them drain because I did have to go ahead and move on to making the honey buffalo sauce. So all I did was melted some butter, added some red Frank hot sauce and some honey. And when it got through simmering, I added the shrimp in there and let them sit so it can kind of absorb all of that. It was so good. I definitely would try this again. I kinda would tweak it a little different, but overall it was good. So here I am checking on my chicken and yams. This is how the chicken is looking, and I decided to make this into barbecue chicken instead of just regular baked chicken. And this is how it looked about an hour after being in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove it out so I can flip it. And then I checked my yams. They were tender, but not tender as I would like them. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix them up. And that's the juices. It was so yummy. I know some people add marshmallows to their yams. I don't do that. It's just, that'll be too sweet. But again, you can tweak it to how you like it. So here I am with my chicken. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it. It was literally already falling off the bone. I was trying to be as gentle as possible, but I went on and flipped it. And then I took this Kroger brand of barbecue sauce and I just added it on top. See, I cut my finger, y'all. And I brushed it on, and then I covered the chicken back up and put it back in the oven to let it cook for additional 30 minutes. Then I removed it again, took off the aluminum foil, and like broiled it for about 5 minutes to give it a little crisp. But let's go ahead and move on to this cornbread. I used buttermilk instead of regular milk and added some honey and just followed the instructions on the box. Took out my yams when they were done. They were so good, y'all. My daughter loves sweet potatoes. She was always a vegetable type of kid, but she absolutely loved them. So I mostly cooked them for my husband and her, not myself and my son. But here is the devil eggs. I took them out of the oven. I let them not the oven. Oh my God. Out the refrigerator and let them chill for a little while before I added the shrimp. And I'm just going to place one shrimp on each one. And after I place that on there, I'm going to take my juices that the shrimp was in and kind of pour them over the devil eggs. I don't know what made me do this, y'all. I was really in my like culinary mode where I just thought I was just so fancy. But I added my paprika, and then this is how the devil eggs turned out. They were actually good. They left the first night. Let's say they wasn't left over. But this is how they turned out. I was a little heavy on the paprika in certain parts because trying to record and cook and make sure I ain't burning nothing, it was a lot. But I forgot to show you guys my greens, the process of making them. But here are my collard greens. We eat collard greens, not mustard or turnip. Here is our Easter dinner. It turned out amazing. The cornbread was so good. And the greens turned out amazing. We used the beef bacon because the store didn't have no smoked meat. But let's go ahead and move on to the dessert. So I'm going to take this box devil food chocolate cake because this is the only one I have. Mind you, we just moved here, so I was kind of using what we already had. I'm going to add this jello. That is like a secret ingredient. And then I also wanted to try to add these semi chocolate chips. which actually made a difference in the cake. I definitely would try that again. It kind of gave off like the Matilda cake, chocolate cake vibes. So good. So I use milk instead of water. I normally use butter instead of oil, but I decided to use oil this time. And I use 1 additional egg. So I use 4 eggs instead of 3. And I oiled my pan, put them in there, stuck them in the oven, cooked them until they were done. Iced it with some store-bought icing. And that's how it turned out, you guys. Easter dinner was so amazing. It was our first holiday in our new house, so I wanted to try to make it as special as possible. We couldn't do much because it was raining, so we stayed in and watched Creed 3. What an amazing day. Thank God for his sacrifice and the love and grace and mercy he have on our life. I hope you guys had an amazing Easter Resurrection Day as well. This is how moist the cake turned out. And thank you so much for tuning in to this video. Be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on your notification bells to be notified every time I upload. I did not do Easter baskets this year because again we just moved here, still trying to unpack. However, we still got the kids a lot of things for Easter and just kind of set them aside for them to see them, all laid out, because doing the baskets this year was a little but I'm definitely going to do them. I do them every year, so I definitely do it next year and step back out into my customization business, and it'll be great. So see you in the next one. Bye.